Hey there, and welcome to Beyond the Bathroom, how to fix the root cause of digestive stress. My name is Dr. Christine, known as the Digestion Doc affectionately. And I just want to tell you, I got into this work for a very specific reason. It was back in the 90s where my uncle left. He was living with my grandmother at the time. He left to go get pizza or something. I don't remember. And I remember he came back within 10 minutes crying, a grown man crying. I think he was in his 40s or 50s at the time, because he lost control of his bowels out in public. At that time, I had never even knew that was a thing. And freedom is my number one value. And I just remember thinking after I got through school and I saw patients that had a lot of different digestive stresses, I recognized very early on that they weren't getting the support that they needed. And I knew that I had to really shift some gears here. So we're going to talk all about that today. Thank you for taking the time to watch this workshop. I know you're going to get a lot of value out of it. Let's stop talking and get right into the content, shall we? I want you just to stop me if you relate here, maybe even raise your hand, right? And that is, your doctor says your labs are normal, but you feel awful. You've been told it's just stress, or it's all in your head, or you're doing everything right, but things are getting worse. You feel like nobody understands what you're going through. You know something is wrong, but no one can find it. And you just want someone to believe you and help you. These are the things that I hear all the time in my practice. Let's keep going. Maybe you're bloated and you're feeling this way even after eating healthy food. You're gassy, you're crampy, or you're running to the bathroom with urgency. Again, you have what I call bathroom anxiety, or you swing between constipation and diarrhea. It just can't seem to get in check, right? It's out of sync. You don't know what you're going to be dealing with that day. This unpredictability makes you crazy, makes you nervous. It even affects the intimacy with your partner. I hear that a lot too. Doctors keep telling you everything looks normal, but you know it's not. You've got that constant fear of having an accident in public. You won't leave the house unless you know along that route where the bathrooms are. I hear this quite a bit. Maybe you even have extra pairs of clothes in your car, and maybe they're in your trunk and nobody knows but you. Let's keep going. Maybe you've got brain fog, hot flashes, bathroom anxiety. Just live with it, the doctor tells you, or your significant other, or somebody in your family. You just have that constant fear, acne, and by the way, did I say hot flashes? Here's what I know. The generic advice that you've been given, it doesn't work anymore. Things like, my doctor gave me probiotics, but I am still crampy and I look like I'm 9 months pregnant, said a 72-year-old. Or, I tried the low FODMAP diet and I'm not feeling any better and I'm starving. Hear that a lot too. And I also get people that are on elimination diets. I want you to know that they don't work. And they don't work because how do you know that you could even digest those things that you're eating? This is the key. You need to know if you can digest foods that you're eating. So now what, you ask? Let me share with you some of my patient success stories. Maybe you're not even sure you want to still tune in, but hopefully this will change your mind if you're on the fence here. This is from Deanna. She says, I only wish I found Dr. Christine sooner because she changed my life. I'm not in pain or discomfort. She says, I found Dr. Christine by accident, I thought, but I truly believe God put me on this path. After watching what the doctors and pharmaceutical companies put my mom through 6 months before her death has really opened my eyes. All I can say is shame on them, because I truly believe my mom would be here today if they wouldn't have pushed all the antibiotics on her that really destroyed her kidneys. And what makes it sadder for me is that she actually trusted these doctors. I only wish I could have found Dr. Christine Kazmar sooner before she has changed my life. I am more present with the people around me because I'm not in pain or in discomfort. She really knows her business. Thank God, I think she means Dr. Christine for caring about people the way you do. I love that. Another one from a little guy, this patient of mine, this is his mother, for ulcerative colitis. She says, Dr. Christine has been answered prayer. Over the course of 2 years, we spent thousands of dollars on trying to figure out how to manage our son's ulcerative colitis diagnosis shortly after turning 9 years old. He was hospitalized twice, was recommended twice to consider having his colon removed. Imagine at 9 years old. And at one point lost so much blood that he had to have a blood transfusion. We saw integrative medical doctors, nutritionists, chiropractors, holistic professionals, and of course, still sought and maintained the support of his pediatric gastric doctor. Unfortunately, our last stop was Dr. Christine instead of his first. And finally, we have a protocol that is working. We were able to get our son off of his biologic after being on it for 18 months. And he has now been biologic medication free for almost 2 years as of this summer. Praise God. I highly recommend Dr. Christine if you are struggling with anything digestive. Thank you, Dr. Christine. And Elena's not alone. I've seen patients all over the world. I've had people fly in as far away as Australia and Belgium. I've worked with people in Saudi Arabia, the whole world over. That's what's so great about technology these days is I'm blessed that I could help people right over the phone. Linda says she literally saved my life. She says, I was suffering for months with severe digestive issues. I had been through the gamut of medical testing and surgery to figure out what was happening with my body. I went from a healthy person one day to a very sick person overnight. Needless to say, the doctors had no idea what was wrong and advised me to take Imodium AD. I was completely depleted until I saw an ad in the newspaper for Dr. Christine. She literally saved my life of suffering. Within 2 weeks' time, I was having normal functioning of my digestive system. Thank you just isn't enough for what she did for me. I know for a fact she can help you. If you're reading this and looking for answers, do not hesitate. And Linda's not alone either. There's testimonials here that you could slow this down and look at some point, of course. But let me just tell you about my story really quickly because I want to get into this value for you as well. I work for the largest pharmacy in Michigan, which is where I got a lot of these. I got the awakening, if you will, about what's really going on out there. Just little side thing here. I am unapologetically a lover of the movie 9 to 5 with Dolly Parton, Lily Tomlin, and Jane Fonda. Best movie ever, and a very staunch lover of freedom. Here's a book that I wrote that was a bestseller on Amazon called Gut Check. This is a picture of me when I worked at the pharmacy. I went all the way up into management there. So I had quite a few years cutting my teeth in the largest pharmacy in the state of Michigan. Today, we're going to cover some things that I know will make a difference for you. The simple truth your doctor isn't talking about, we're going to hit that. We're going to talk about why common treatments fail and exactly how I go about fixing these people that have anything from Crohn's, colitis, brain fog, hot flashes, all the gamut of digestive issues like Linda talked about. Here's a common myth that I want to just start out with, and that's this. The phrase, you are what you eat, false. Just not true. Better said, you are what you digest. Because here's the deal. If you ate healthy food, then why are you feeling so lousy? Maybe that's you, but this is the majority of the patients that I work with. They eat great, but they're feeling lousy. They're symptomatic, and we're going to talk about why that is. We got a problem on our hands, and I can illustrate this by showing you the top over-the-counter drugs that are for sale out there. We've got laxatives, antidiarrheals, heartburn, reflux meds, pain relievers. There are a lot of these drugs out there because people have a digestive system that is dysfunctional. Or how about this? Maybe you've gone the medical route. Maybe you've tried to get help from your doctor, but now they're only seeing you for 7 minutes because that's what the insurance dictates. True story. My best friend just had this happen where she went to her eye doctor and they timed it and she only had 7 minutes to get an eye exam and talk to the doctor. 7 minutes. How many of you can resonate with that? It's not right. What's happening in the medical model is just not right. And there's a big problem that nobody is solving, especially your gastrointestinal doctor. And it's this. They are not talking about fuel. I want you to know that you do not have a plumbing problem. You have a fuel problem, an energy problem. And 80% of the Crohn's patients, they relapse because they're taking medicine that doesn't work anymore after a certain time because the true cause has never been really addressed, which is a digestive energy problem. We're going to talk about that. Let's talk about constipation. Constipation medicines, they may lead to dependency. I've seen it happen plenty of times. And these drugs that are leading to dependency also are not correcting the root cause. You see, these are not diseases or problems of bad genes. Usually, they estimate that maybe 30% of diseases can be genetically linked, but 70% of the time, it's linked to your lifestyle. What are you eating? What are you thinking? This kind of thing. I also want you to know that these are not diseases, problems of even bad luck when you have Crohn's or colitis or hot flashes or whatever. You see, the reason why people are having these problems is because their cells ran out of energy. Here's the great news. Energy, digestive energy, can be restored. I do it all the time. When you understand how your body gets energy, which you're going to understand today, you can rebuild digestion, boost energy, and finally heal your body. Why traditional medicine fails? Let's talk about that. It's very simple because they are symptom managing. They're not looking at root cause. And I like to really focus this in and get clarity for you with what I call the garbage dump full of rats. So pretend I have a garbage dump. It's infested with rats. The medical model will look at this and they'll go at, let's go ahead and kill these rats. That's the problem. The medical doctor will think, if I have a garbage dump full of rats, the problem is clearly the rats. So off they go trying to kill the rats when that is not the problem. Eliminating the rats is just going to bring more rats in until you eliminate the garbage dump. The garbage dump is my style of finding the root cause. if I look at that scenario. Garbage dump full of rats. Why are the rats there? The garbage dump. When I look at Crohn's, colitis, heartburn issues, brain fog, any of these things, why are they having these issues? And the commonality among all of them is their gut isn't right. They are not getting proper digestive energy. And so I like to call the medical model the broken medical model, because all it does is look at covering up symptoms, suppressing the immune system, destroy first, hope later. That's kind of like the way they operate. Not all of them, but I'm sure you can see where I'm going with that. Here's the missing question your medical professional is just not asking you. And that is, how are you doing with digestion? Are they even talking about nutrition? Are they talking about how well you are digesting your food? Do they even talk about nutrition at all? Probably not. And this is what your doctor also isn't telling you. It's like it's top secret or something. But this is what I'm going to share with you today. And it's this. Newsflash, it's all about energy. It's all about energy, because when you don't get energy to your body, you're going to suffer. You're going to have symptoms. Undigested food causes problems, and you don't get energy from that. In fact, it causes more stress. So what is the answer? Well, it's understanding how we get energy. And we get energy from 3 specific nutrients. This is known as the energy cascade when I talk about the direction with which we get the energy from these nutrients. First and foremost, carbohydrates. We need to be eating fruit. We need to be eating veggies. It's great to have things like oatmeal. We need carbohydrates. We live in an age now where influencers have conditioned you to think that stay away from fruit because it has fructose. It's silliness. I'd rather you have an apple than apple juice any day, right? But you still need to be eating your fruit. In this direction is the energy cascade. You get energy from carbohydrates first, protein second, and fats last. It takes a lot of energy to digest food, but you can get energy from a carbohydrate like a piece of fruit in as soon as 15 minutes. Why is that so important? Because your brain needs energy, and you need energy for your structure, your skeleton, your spine to stand upright against gravity. Your organs need energy to function and do all the beautiful things. So carbohydrates are absolutely essential. But understand this, protein and fat, these are specialized nutrients. Here's an arrow showing you the direction that we get energy in that energy cascade. But I want you to understand that proteins and fats heal and repair you. Carbohydrates don't do any healing. Carbohydrates don't do any repairing. But what they do, and it's magnificent at what they do, is supply the body with energy. So you first need to know that. Next, you need to understand that if you think of carb, protein, and fat as gas tanks, you want them to be full, topped off. But if this energy cascade is broken, meaning if any of those tanks are running low, you have to understand that no drug out there can repair that. There's not one medication out there that's going to fill those tanks. Only carb, protein, and fat can do that. Only nutrition can do this. This is the thing. Now, by the way, I am not telling you to stop taking your medications. I would never say that. I never do say that. But I just need you to understand where we get energy. I need you to be thinking about digestion energy from here on, right? For the rest of your lives, to be thinking about this, because that is the secret. And that is why I'm able to help patients all over the world, is because I understand the energy cascade. I understand the body's natural healing rhythm, which is homeostasis, and I know how to work with it. All right, because the body is smarter than any doctor out there. This is also why there is such a relapse on Crohn's patients, is because they're relying on this medication alone and they're never looking at that energy coming in from carb, protein, and fat. If you have these gas tanks and it's low, you can't properly heal. No different than if I'm in a car and I only have a quarter tank of gas, I'm not going to be able to drive 500 miles on a quarter tank of gas. The body's the same way. Do you have enough energy to meet the need? If so, you will heal. That's all there is to it. And it is just biology, okay? Only nutrition normalizes function. Medications have their place. They can stabilize, but medications can never normalize because they are not energy supplying. Oftentimes, medications are energy reducing. They take away energy from your body. Only nutrition supplies energy. Here's another thing I want you to know. People say health is how well you feel. This is also a myth. This is not true at all. Let me explain this. If I have an iceberg, what you see above the surface, let's just pretend that's what you feel. And then what's below the surface on the right there is what you don't feel. Let's dive in further here, shall we? What you feel are things like headaches, fatigue, joint pain, diarrhea, bloating, stomach cramping, heart palpitations. You'll feel those things. But look at below the surface, what you don't feel. You don't feel a cyst growing in your uterus. You don't feel a kidney stone developing. You don't feel tumors growing. You don't even feel high blood pressure or calcium deficiency or high cholesterol. And you certainly don't feel an aneurysm growing. So these things that are below the surface are the things that you don't feel. So saying health is how we feel is also misleading. Health is how well we function. That's it. And guess what? If you want to improve function, you must improve digestive energy. And I'm sure you're watching this thinking, okay, I get it. I like your little slideshow here, Dr. Christine, but can you help me? Well, the answer is yes, because I am embracing the body's natural healing rhythm, and I'm helping your body rebuild the energy cascade in 3 phases. I want to introduce you to my DRS system, and it stands for D for digest, R for refuel the energy, and S for support. It's very simple. My method helps you to normalize digestion, to look at what's going on with those gas tanks. And if one is down or 2 are down or all 3 are down, we need to replenish and fill those tanks, top them off, if you will. It's easy to do that when we know what to look for. Helping you to restore function is a big thing that I do. Naturally reducing inflammation, huge. I just want you to know something. When you work with me, there's no wishing, there's no wand waving here. It's working with physiology. It's working with the body's natural order. And I want you to know that when you improve digestive energy, the body heals every single time. You can't out-drug a bad digestive system. You just can't. And you can't out-heal a gut that's out of energy. You need to top off those tanks, carb, protein, fat, the energy cascade. So I want you to know something else. When you don't have the proper digestion of carb, protein, fat, we already know, hopefully it's been established, that you're not going to get good energy. But I want you to know something, that undigested food is going to lead to symptoms. It's going to lead to slow healing, prolong the pain, increase the inflammation, Crohn's, colitis, heartburn, pick a symptom. If you are energy deficient because those tanks are not topped off, that's what's going to happen. And you need to fix that. All the drugs in the world are not going to top off those tanks. So I need you to get this. Maximum energy comes from properly digested food. The conversation your doctors are just not having with you. In my method, this is what I do. A few more success stories for you. Lynn York says, before I met Dr. Christine, I was really struggling with my Crohn's symptoms. The doctors that I saw gave me little help, just medication that had horrible side effects. I knew this was not the route I wanted to take or go down. I tried to do it on my own and had some success, but I still wasn't 100%. Then I found Dr. Christine. My first phone call with her was amazing. She gave me a plan, and most importantly, she gave me hope. I take that so to heart because that's exactly what I hear so many people say. I hear so many people say, God sent me to come see you. I prayed about you and I saw your ad. I hear these things all the time. And here's one thing that I just want to interrupt this success story and just share with you. Communication is my superpower. Communication is my superpower that I've been blessed with. And I want you to know the reason why patients feel hope with me and they feel connected with me and they resonate with me is because I remember when my uncle was sick. I remember when my mom was sick. I remember all the different things. I remember the patients that come in sick. And when I see the lights turn back on quickly, it is the most beautiful thing ever. It is the most beautiful thing ever. And we live in that age now where the medical doctor is seeing you less and less. You're shoved off to a physician's assistant. You are not even given results from your blood work. You have to call and say, hey, what about these abnormalities I'm seeing? We see these types of things all the time in our office about what the patients are reporting back to us. So that's Lynn's story. One more here for you from Pamela. She says, I can't say enough for how you have helped my daughter. The difference in her health and well-being is like night and day. She saw multiple doctors, emergency room visits, gallbladder removed, and still felt terrible. Once doing your gut check test and following the program you put together for her, she literally has her life back. She is also a type 1 diabetic and now uses less insulin than before because she is eating healthier. And more importantly, her body is breaking foods down correctly now. Getting more energy, great things happen, folks. Prayers have been answered. We love you. And thank you for your dedication and passion for helping others. Happy to be one of the 5 million. Keep up the great work. I love that so much. If you are ready to get started, I've got something very special for you. If you're ready to learn more about personalized help with me, being on this workshop, I'm giving you a very special offer, a very special opportunity to talk to me, not some assistant, me, one-on-one on the phone. No crazy tech, literally on the phone. Not this phone, but you get the drift, right? I swear I almost felt heard a dial tone there. Anyway, on our one-on-one strategy call with me, we're going to dive deep into where you are, where you want to be, and a personal plan to bridge that gap. Your next steps are really simple. Somewhere on this page, there's a link. Click it. And for the consultation with me, it's $59. Normally, they're $158. I will also say, once you check out, there are these bonuses that you will be sent as well. You're going to get a digital copy of a very special course about how to organize your kitchen. That's extremely valuable. It's really good stuff. I'm behind the camera in that video. That's going to be extremely useful. Other bonuses you'll see too. But for $59, the main thing is you're going to get a conversation with me and a path forward. I really want you to know that I appreciate you taking the time to be here. I know that I could help you. It is my number one value is freedom. If you've lost yours, I can't wait to talk to you to help you regain it back.